Welcome back to Kleppers Corner, where today's news is a buffet of disasters. A little bit of global diplomacy, a dash of economic meltdown, and for dessert, a monsoon that washes away any hope you had that climate change was just a liberal bedtime story. Seriously, it's like the world hired a really bad wedding DJ. Every song you play is either war, inflation, or oops, all hurricanes. But hey, let's dive in before the planet sinks under us. Segment 1, the Alaska Summit, Moscow's mic drop. So, the big headliner, President Trump and Vladimir Putin met in Anchorage, Alaska. The setting, majestic mountains, military flyovers, and enough pomp to make you think the peace deal was already signed. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. What did we get? 3 hours of vague promises, a press conference with no questions, and Trump rating the meeting a 10 out of 10. That's not diplomacy, that's Yelp reviewing your own restaurant. Putin called the talks constructive, which in Russian means I got everything I wanted without giving up a damn thing. Because while they were smiling for the cameras, Russia was busy launching 85 drones and a ballistic missile into Ukraine. Imagine if you're on a date, the guy says, "This is going really well," and then halfway through, he burns down your house. The whole event was less about peace and more about optics. Trump got to look presidential. Putin got to stroll across U.S. soil with a red carpet welcome, despite that little thing where the International Criminal Court says he's wanted for war crimes. But hey, America doesn't do the ICC, so we basically said, come on over, Vlad, just ignore the pesky genocide stuff. Europe? Oh, Europe's panicking. They weren't even invited to the summit. That's like throwing a baby shower without inviting the actual mother. Zelensky's response was basically, Putin just bought himself more time, which is diplomat speak for what the actual hell, guys. Segment 2, Putin's Big Comeback Tour. For Putin, this summit was less peace talk, more Coachella comeback. He got the beast limo ride, the flyover of B-2 bombers, pure propaganda gold. Russian state TV will replay that clip until Siberia thaws. And when no deal's signed, he gets to keep bombing Ukraine while still looking like a reasonable statesman. That's a 2-for-1 deal. The fact that Trump praised it as extremely productive is like me saying my workout was productive because I walked past a gym. It's branding, not reality. Putin left Alaska with legitimacy, Trump left with bragging rights, and Ukraine left with, well, rubble. Segment 3, the Humanitarian Gambit. Once a real subplot, Trump handed Putin a personal letter from Melania asking about Ukrainian children allegedly taken into Russia, which, on the one hand, nice gesture. On the other hand, that's not how you handle war crimes. That's like sliding your waiter a note saying, the soup tasted like sewage, while still tipping 25%. But it worked for the optics. Melania plays concerned mom, Putin gets to nod politely, and Trump avoids making it a deal breaker. Meanwhile, in the real world, the war continues. The summit ended at lunch, and by dinner, Ukraine was back under heavy assault. It's like staging a Broadway musical called Peace and then blasting cannons at the audience during intermission. Segment 4, flooded Pakistan, climate's brutal encore. While Trump and Putin were busy redefining the word productive, Pakistan was drowning. Over 320 people killed in 48 hours thanks to catastrophic monsoon flooding. Whole villages flattened by torrents of water and boulders. Rescue crews can't even get in because the roads are gone, the bridges are gone, hell, the helicopters are crashing too. And here's the kicker. This isn't just bad luck. Climate scientists are basically screaming from the rooftops, this is what we told you was coming. Extreme rainfall, extreme floods. Welcome to the climate crisis highlight reel. Meanwhile, in America, we still argue about whether gas stoves are patriotic. Pakistan's burying hundreds of people, and Tucker Carlson is yelling about how wind turbines hurt whales. Priorities, folks. Segment 5, Hurricane Erin. Category 4 chaos across the Atlantic. Hurricane Erin decided to crash the party. A Category 4 beast with winds of 130 miles per hour. Islands in the Caribbean are bracing for impact, with warnings of deadly storm surges and floods. But here in the U.S., we're breathing a sigh of relief because it might turn northeast, which is basically the meteorological version of saying, relax, it's only killing someone else. It's wild how different the response capacity is. The U.S. has satellites, modeling, FEMA ready to go. Pakistan has washed out roads and rescue crews on foot. That disparity is the actual global storm. Climate change is universal, but survival is unequal. Segment 6, Tariffs, The price is wrong. Now, let's talk money. The Trump administration swears up and down that tariffs aren't causing inflation. Meanwhile, consumer prices are rising. Wholesale prices are jumping, and the average household is on track to lose $2,400 this year. But sure, no inflation. And my gym membership isn't making me fit either, but I still keep paying. The Yale Budget Lab says tariffs are like a regressive tax. Prices of shoes up nearly 40%, cars up 12%, apparel up 37%. So congratulations, America. We're paying more for the privilege of winning trade wars. Remember when Trump said Mexico would pay for the wall? Yeah, turns out we're paying for his tariffs instead. Segment 7, AI and energy. Robots want electricity too. Here's a fun twist. America wants to dominate AI, but AI eats electricity like Cookie Monster eats cookies. Tech giants are begging the government not to cut renewable energy tax credits because they need power for their data centers. Meanwhile, Trump is phasing those credits out faster than a bad reality show spinoff. So on one hand, we're saying, let's beat China in AI. On the other hand, we're sabotaging the energy grid needed to run the damn thing. It's like training for a marathon while refusing to eat carbs. Spoiler, you're not finishing that race. Segment 8, Air Canada strike. No flights for you. And if you thought maybe travel could be your escape, nope. Air Canada grounded its entire fleet after 10,000 flight attendants went on strike. That's 130,000 passengers stranded every day. If you're Canadian and stuck in Europe, you're either hitchhiking home or learning French real fast. The attendants want higher pay and compensation for unpaid work. Apparently, they don't get paid for boarding time. So yeah, every time you stood in the aisle while some guy wrestled his emotional support anvil into the overhead bin, that was free labor. They want it fixed. The government hasn't stepped in yet, so it's a standoff. And even if they fix it tomorrow, restarting flights takes at least a week, which means the only thing flying right now are tempers. In conclusion. So to sum it all up, Trump and Putin played pretend peacemakers. Pakistan is drowning, a hurricane is brewing, tariffs are draining our wallets, AI wants to eat the grid, and Canadians are camping in airports, and Trump still hasn't released the Epstein files. It's like the apocalypse, but with better Wi-Fi. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, the world will find a brand new way to confuse, enrage, and depress us. Until then, this has been Kleppers Corner.